So before I start this video, I want to give a little bit of background and I want to lay the foundation for my arguments here. So my number one biggest pet peeve is when we have a universe established with a character that is established as a certain color and a certain gender, and then suddenly there's a shift and a continue in that universe. This may not apply to Zelda, but I am just laying the concrete foundations for my own personal argument before I start here. So for example, let's just take Spider-Man. Let's say Spider-Man 4 was going to come out next year, okay? And suddenly, Spider-Man is a black woman. Okay, that just contradicts the first three Spider-Mans, but no, it's still a sequel, it's still a direct sequel, and they reference the previous three movies. Now, you see how that doesn't work properly, it doesn't make sense. They would have to go back and retroactively change Spider-Man into a black female to reference the previous three films, because before, he was just some young white kid. You know, a nerdy young white kid. That's how it went. That's what it was. So you start to understand what I'm thinking here on terms of that. So I want to continue that type of argument into the Zelda. So the biggest thing that came out of the new Zelda U is not how awesome the changes are, how it's going to be so radically different from the other Zelda games. No, not that the map shown, the demo shown, was only 1% size. Not that the map itself is 12 times the size of Twilight Princess, or how the fuck the Wii U can render that shit at a steady frame rate and make it look so nice. No. None of those technological achievements, but instead, we have the whole Link needs to be a woman. Link, hey, gender discrimination. Hey, equal rights. Well, hey, okay, fine. Make Link a woman. Now, you know what? You guys are extremely racist because there's no black Link. There's no black woman Link. How about that? Whoa, man. What about that racism, huh? Let's correct that. Oh, hang on. The Asians are left out. We need to get a Chinese Link. We need a Korean Link. Okay. So it never ends, right? It's never going to end. You give it an inch, it's never going to end. And I dislike people forcing a change on a character based upon the simple fact that they want it. That is, you forcing a change in the artistic direction. Now, there's a few examples I want to show before I really dig into this. And I want to prove that there are plenty of female lead protagonists in games, and there are several where people just don't seem to care that there's no male lead protagonist. So before I get into this here, I want to go ahead and show you Mario. Why isn't there a female Mario or a female Luigi for that reason? But Proto, there's a female Princess Peach and you can play with her sometimes. Yeah, you can play with her sometimes. It was amazing to see the ability to play with her. For like years you couldn't play with Princess Peach or several of the other characters for that matter in a more congruent universe. Yeah, you could play with Luigi, but that was just a palette swap. He didn't have unique abilities until Mario Brothers 2. And then after Mario Brothers 2, playing with Princess Peach, she kind of got shoved to the side, along with Toad and Luigi for a long time, until after Mario Sunshine. And then you started getting other games and side entries. And then you started getting core Princess Peach game. But the point is, I don't hear a huge outcry to play as a female Mario. Why? What the fuck is the difference there? Huh? Because it's Zelda. Zelda can be a girl, then Mario can be a girl. I'm just using the same logic applied here. Here's another one. Samus. You guys remember Samus? Samus Aran? Whatever you want to call it. There you go. Samus is traditionally female and has been female for the last... When was Metroid released? 1987 or 88? Oh, who am I kidding? It's been over 26 years since fucking Metroid came out. Now, excuse me, pardon me, when was the last time you played as a male lead protagonist there? So I want a male Samus. And no. No chicks with dicks. No transsexuals. No. I want a straight, cis, white, male lead protagonist as Samus Aran. We'll call him Aaron. And his last name will be Samus. Hey, Aaron. How about that, huh? Just using the same fucking logic. If you can play as a girl, you can play as a cis male. So, you might be wondering what this list is here. This is quite a list. Oh, video games featuring female protagonist. Oh, well, it's not that big, right? Just these games. And that's kind of crap. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. All of these tabs here, and this isn't even to Z. This is just like 4 tabs before I got tired of opening so many fucking tabs of video games that have female lead protagonists. This is D. Here you go. You can pause the video at any time. There's a few that come to mind, like Child's Light, Castlevania Legends, Donkey Kong Country when Dixie Kong was a female protagonist. Those were big ones. Gauntlet, when you can choose a woman. Many of the Gauntlet games. I mean, but who cared at that point in time? The whole Final Fantasy Lightning character was a big one. But at the point in time, you're more interested in playing the game than if you can actually play as a lead female protagonist. So, before we get into that, let's get back here. Yes, a woman should lead a Zelda game, and no, it shouldn't be Link. So the number one reason for Link not being in there is that this. It was written right here, and it was quoted by, obviously, Nintendo representatives. They said, there's the idea of the Triforce in the Zelda games we make. Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma stated to Kotaku, again, Kotaku runs with shit, the Triforce is made up of Princess Zelda, Ganon, and Link. Princess Zelda is obviously female. If we made Link a female, we thought that would mess with the balance of the Triforce. That's why we decided not to do it. And if we have Princess Zelda as the main character who fights, then what is Link going to do? Now, they've said a couple other things, like they were playing with the idea of making a female Link, and then they thought, well, it'd be easier just to have a Princess Zelda fulfill that role. But then they thought, what would Link do? Now, at first, you're probably doing a huge knee-jerk reaction and saying, holy fucking shit. These guys are full of fucking shit. Now, I'm not going to defend them. They have their own reasons for doing whatever the fuck they want. And a lot of people have made the argument, just be straight about it. Don't make up these bullshit excuses. Just say, hey, I just want to make a male lead protagonist. I'm not making a female lead protagonist. Don't buy my game if you don't like it. A lot of people would have rather heard that. But let me explain this to you a bit. Again, I am not defending them. You can think whatever you want on them. They have a different society in Japan, so obviously this is reflected there. But, okay, there's a few things about the Triforce. The Triforce. So we have the Triforce of Power, the Triforce of Courage, and the Triforce of Wisdom. So speaking based upon the games, those that bear the Triforce of Courage are the heroes of time, the heroes who come forth and defeat the bearer of the Triforce of Power. It can only be called fate that here I would again gather the 3 with the crests, that I would lay my hand on that which grants me the wishes of the beholder, that when power, wisdom, and courage come together, the gods would have no choice but to come down. The power of the gods, the Triforce, he who touches it will have whatever he desires granted. Ganondorf, the main villain who keeps doing the bullshit to fuck up Zelda. Okay, he has the Triforce of Power. You need the villain to be the bearer of such stuff, because if he had the Triforce of Courage, it wouldn't really make sense that he's a villain. And if he had the Triforce of Wisdom, it would make a little bit more sense, but not as much as the power. So what's the point here? What's the takeaway? Well, if you have Princess Zelda being the one who's in charge of the adventure, then you have Link. And if you're going to have Zelda as the bearer of the Triforce of Wisdom, then what would Link seriously do? Seriously, I'm very curious. You see, Zelda doesn't need the items that Link has. Zelda has magic because she is the bearer of the Triforce of Wisdom. She has the wisdom to craft magic. She can use many magical attacks. I've seen her with a sword, a rapier. It's obviously not as strong as the Master Sword due to the fact that she can't repel Ganon's assaults. or kill Ganon herself, because once again, the Master Sword is the bane of all evil in that universe. If you don't know a lot of this stuff, you would instantly think, well, holy shit, Nintendo's racist. But thinking about this for a minute, if you were controlling Zelda, how the fuck would you unlock equipment? Now, I know they're creative enough to make this a possibility and make this happen, but at the same time, it really doesn't make sense. And where would Link be? Let's just put it in a scenario here. You're playing Wind Waker, and instead you're playing with Zelda instead of Link. Link gets kidnapped, fine, everything's fine and dandy. But what would you unlock in the dungeons to help you complete the dungeons? Would you even need the gauntlets? Would you even need the iron boots? Would you need the ice arrows? Because Zelda can pull light arrows out her fucking ass. She can pull a sword out her ass. She can use magic all over the place. So at what point in time, what would be the narrative that would sound really good to seal away this power? Would it be like one of those bullshit times when you're playing Metroid and there's an explosion behind me and, oh, by the way, you just lost all your powers in your power suit, now you gotta re-unlock them. Yeah, that was really fucking super convenient. Would it be something like that? Oh, by the way, Zelda hit her head on a fucking rock and she forgot how to use magic. Is that how it would fucking happen? Because Link, off to the side, he wouldn't be firing arrows at Ganon to stun him and allow you to finish him, because Link wouldn't have to go through those dungeons to get all of those items to help you. See, where Zelda can pull this shit out her ass because she has magic, Link can't. He has the Triforce of Courage. He can't do that shit. The only thing that Link has is determination, courage, the motive to continue on no matter what, no matter how long the chips have been down, no matter how terrible things seem. Link has the Triforce of Courage and is able to continue on. If you swap the Triforces, now you've got a little bit of a problem in continuity. Now it doesn't really make sense. At the same time, I'm sure Nintendo's creative enough to make that a possibility, and I do hope they do in the future. I don't give a shit if I play as a female or a male. I'm not sexist. I don't fucking care what's swinging between their legs. At the end of the adventure, Link never really gets the girl, they never live happily ever after on a farm, and they don't have children. There are tons of theories out there discussing these things. They talk about them in depth about why Link can't have children with Zelda, why Link can't be with Zelda. I mean, there's a huge theory about Ocarina of Time, different timelines, what happened to the hero after he saved the land, and he ended up making a huge mistake and causing huge problems because of what he did in Ocarina of Time, and there was nothing you could do to fix that. And I don't care who I play as. I just don't. It's not that big of a deal to me. But I wanted to, before I close out this video, point out a few Zelda games that do have Zelda as the lead character. Okay, so we have the Wand of Gamelon. This was a terrible, terribly amazingly great game that was a collaboration between Forbes Media and Nintendo because they had the rights to Zelda to publish a few Zelda games. It was horrible. It was a side-scrolling Zelda game, and don't worry, this isn't sexist. They didn't just make terrible Zelda games. There is another Zelda game for Link called The Faces of Evil, and they're very well known for their YouTube poops. If you don't know what a YouTube poop is, look up Zelda YouTube poop, and you'll see Faces of Evil and Zelda's Adventure and stuff like that. Here's Zelda's Adventure. This was a more top-down styled kind of RPG-esque game in the vein of Diablo, where they had pre-rendered graphics and cinematics and you controlled Zelda. It was terrible because it took a long time to load. The music was horrible. The Angry Video Game Nerd did a video about all three of them. So there you go. There's two games where Zelda is lead character. Here, hey, you know who this is? This is Linkle from the game Hyrule Warriors Legends. Linkle, who features two crossbows. Look, it's a woman who's also named Linkle. I'm not crazy about the name, but there it is. Hey, you know who else is a woman and a fucking badass, I might add? Impa. Impa is the sage for the Shadow Temple in Ocarina of Time. She has been a sage for many years and has guided and helped Zelda, as well as being an overall badass in Hyrule Warriors. She's really fucking cool to play with, and probably my second or third favorite character next to Shadow Link and Giram, Lord Giram. Giram's fun as fuck to play with on that game, but she is too, and so is Shadow Link. They're all three really fun characters to play with. And what's that? Hey, a female made my top 3? Wow, I guess I must be sexist because she's not number 1. Princess Ruto, another character in Hyrule Warriors. Don't overly like her that much in Hyrule Warriors because of her attack scheme, but she's still very usable and playable, and she's fun to play with when I do decide to take a break from my favorite characters. Another badass female. Oh, look! A lead protagonist that you can play with in Zelda. Yeah, the short campaign in Hyrule Warriors that takes less than 8 hours to complete. Yeah, you can play with her any fucking time after that. It's called the Master Quest map, the Twilight Princess map. There's the standard map you can play with. You can do challenges with her. Oh, who's that? Who's that? Oh, the other lead protagonist / villain of the series. In a Zelda game. Wow. So there's been a lot of arguing because the lead character is not a female. And I'm going to say this. There is nothing wrong with desiring a female woman to be in charge of the game. There is nothing wrong with wanting a female to be the lead character of the game. But there is something wrong with wanting that character to be female for no other reason than to just make it female. No, there's no concrete reason behind it. There's no, oh, I want Zelda to be the main character because it would be an interesting dynamic to see how the magic would work and how Zelda would take on Ganon versus Link. Do you know one of the main reasons why Ganon kidnaps Zelda so much? It's not the played out trope of being kidnapped. It's Ganon wanting the Triforces to come together. Ganon kidnaps Zelda because he knows she does not have the power to fight against him. Link does not have the power to fight against Ganon either. That is why he has to gather the resources that he has. He has to use the Master Sword, the Blade of Evil's Bane. He cannot defeat Ganon without the help of several items within several games. Even in games like from the Super Nintendo, he had to have silver arrows to wound Ganon, and then he was able to finish him. It's amazing how people from the outside will look inward to the Zelda universe and say blatantly, oh, it's just sexist that there isn't a female Zelda character that leads the games. And then they forget about this game, this character, this character, this character, this character. Oh, we forgot about those because we didn't know about them because we're not really wrapped up in the Zelda universe. Oh, we just played a couple Zeldas. Oh, I love Zelda. Zelda Ocarina of Time is my favorite game. Oh yeah? Did you play the Game Boy ones? Huh? Did you play what was it? Wind Waker? Huh? Did you play Majora's Mask? Did you play any other fucking Zeldas besides the super popular mainstreamed ones? Because there are plenty of other Zeldas where there are female lead characters, female characters that do very huge things in the games. Not only are they a massive part, Ganon possesses Zelda and you have to fight her in Twilight Princess. Zelda helps you in Twilight Princess. Zelda helps you in Wind Waker, helps you defeat Ganon. Zelda holds Ganon in place in Ocarina of Time, using her light magic to defeat Ganon, finally, once and for all, with the Master Sword. How would Zelda defeat Ganon? Would she use the Master Sword? Then what would Link do? If he doesn't have the magic that Zelda has, if he doesn't have access to the Master Sword, what would he do sitting on the sidelines? Would Ganon kidnap him and possess him and use him? Would Ganon brainwash him? Or would Link become Oni Link, the hero, or should I say anti-hero, from Majora's Mask, and Ganon would use him? Who fucking knows? Because I'm not the creative director. But the point of this is that it's pretty damn sexist to demand a character change their gender for no other reason than because it's 2016. It's not progressive enough. Like I said, if that is the answer, then I want a male Samus Aran, and I want to identify with her. So I want it to be a cis white male who's also a veteran. Can you do that for me? If you concede that to me, fine. You can have your fucking female Link. I don't even care as is. I don't fucking give a shit. Make Link female. Give them fucking boobs and a vagina. Plays the fucking same. Nobody fucking cares. I'm just explaining probably the reasoning that was omitted or left or lost in translation when quoted on why they couldn't have a female lead role or Zelda as the lead role. It would make more sense to have a female-ish Link versus a Zelda as a lead role, because Zelda just wouldn't make a lot of sense with the way the character is. Now, if Zelda suddenly woke up and bore the Triforce of Courage, went to dungeon just like Link, then that's just a copy and paste job, and what's the fucking difference? There is no difference. There is no fucking difference if you put a female Link in there. And a lot of people would say, then why don't you just do it? The point is, if you do it, there's nothing behind it. There's no reason to do it. There's no reason not to do it. It's just not there. You know, it's just like making Mario a female. There's no reason to do it. There's no reason not to do it. It won't affect the game. It won't affect the story. It'll just be a female Mario. So I really don't understand these arguments. I know some people want to identify with characters a certain way. Fine. Best wishes to you. I understand how you feel. I love identifying with characters, but at the same time, I don't demand an artist rewrite his book so that I can identify with the lead character more. You know what I end up doing? I don't fucking read the book. I don't play the game. Things like that. So, if you feel like I'm a misogynistic, sexist, piece of shit, cis, white male, fine. Make fun of this disabled veteran if you will, but at the same time, I will never stop using my freedom to try and help people see logical arguments. There's no reason there shouldn't be a female Zelda, a female lead role Link. There's no reason that there should be either, because it won't change the story whatsoever. Unless Nintendo makes that dynamic. Unless Nintendo suddenly gets Link talking, unless the interactions between people start changing based on gender. And then now we are introducing sexual dynamics and differences between the sexes, and we're introducing a little bit of sexism. God, could you imagine if they introduced a female Link and he had to wear a dress? Oh my God, the decrees of sexism that would be placed there if Link, the female version, would have to wear a dress. They would freak the fuck out if they saw her in a tunic. What was it? Where's Linkle? Where's the tab with Linkle? Yeah, they would freak the fuck out if that was turned into a short dress. Like, man, it's just... Don't give them an inch, because they'll take a mile, and we've seen this many times in the gaming industry. Don't forget about Buttgate. Don't forget about the Baldur's Gate transsexual forcing the agenda down people's throat. Don't forget about all of these things that have come up that have caused issues and rumbles in the gaming industry. So I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. If you agree with me and you think that it wouldn't matter if Link was a woman or not, leave a comment down in the section below. If you fervently believe that Link should be a female or Zelda should be the lead role character, leave a comment below. I would love to see a very good Zelda game where Zelda is the lead role and Link was the side role, but I just don't understand how the fuck they would do that without shoehorning in some stupid ass fucking way Zelda lost her magic powers. And I cannot stand that shit because it just doesn't make sense. The beginning of Metroid Prime, after you escape the pirate ship and you lose your powers, it doesn't make fucking sense. Oh my God, you can take a fucking radiation laser from a giant fucking parasite, but you can't fucking take an explosion where you bump your head. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, my brown eye was a suit malfunction. Yes. The parasite that shoots a laser beam that literally cuts through and radiates the fuck out of stuff and poisons stuff. You can take that, but a bump on the head causes a suit malfunction. Nah, that's fine. That could have been easily taken care of by just having some kind of EMP blast go off. Like, oh my God, there's an EMP blast going off. Oh fuck, my suit's all fucked up. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to revert it to the default state. Done and done. Sounds 10 times better than, oops, I bumped my fucking head. And that's how I feel that Nintendo would handle that. Oops, I bumped my head and now I can't use magic. Better go to the 8 dungeons and unlock my fucking magic. Better get my Triforce of Wisdom back because I bumped my fucking head. So, hopefully, I hope to God that if they do that someday, that it's a very well-written narrative. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. If you did, leave me a big fat thumbs up. And remember to support me as much as you can, because the raging feminists, the people who absolutely hate this shit in the gaming industry will probably come and attack me. SJWs from Tumblr, you know how people are. They come out of the woodwork to attack anyone that they don't like or don't agree with.